All right, guys, today we got an amazing interview with Max Convexity. Thank you for coming back to the channel. And guys, can you just give a brief introduction about yourself before we start this amazing interview?
Yeah, my name is Max Convexity. I have a YouTube channel called The Covered Caller. I've had it. I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary. That's actually might be today or something. It's middle of November. I need to look into that. But anyway, I've been doing this for 2 years. I was watching Rod and I kind of got into the high yield funds and I wanted to add my voice to the conversation. And so here I am.
Nice. And since you've been on YouTube for 2 years, like tell us like what are your likes, dislikes to it?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, I can't really think of anything bad. I mean, but the best thing about it is I like being able to meet people. I like to talk to people, and I've met so many people through this channel, either in Discord or on Twitter or on X, or meet people like you. I would have never known you and Coach, and there's 100 people that I know now that I would have never known. I just like making connections.
Especially with this, I mean, since we met going to New York, and that was a crazy environment, just meeting actual YouTubers.
Yeah, that is a crazy environment too, especially because I'm not even a very big YouTuber. Really, neither are you or Coach. I mean, we don't have hundreds of thousands of people. We kind of specialize in the little niches, and to be able to go to New York was absolutely incredible. That's like a dream come true.
Yeah, hopefully they have it next year. That would be like a reunion.
I hope so. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I can't wait. We'll see. I don't know if I'll get invited because I blew them off this year. I didn't mean to, but I had something come up at the last second. I hope they aren't sore at me, but with any luck, I'll be invited next year, and I'd love to see you guys there again, you and Coach and everyone else.
Yeah, and then we're going to try some because we went to that really good Chinese food restaurant. We'll try some other spots.
I want to do pizza. I want to go to like Little Italy and do pizza. We walked through Little Italy. We couldn't find anywhere that was open. So we ended up landing at that Chinese spot. We ended up in Chinatown. But yeah, that was such a blast. I had such a great time.
Yes, definitely.
Hell yeah.
So, since you're on YouTube, like what are your favorite topics to cover? Like options? Is it overseas investments? Like what's your favorite topics to cover?
Well, I like to talk about not really so much options, but option strategies, and more specifically option strategies that ETFs use to pay a yield. And I really like to study which option strategies work best for the ETFs and are able to pay the best yield without causing too much erosion and stuff. That's kind of what I specialize in.
That's awesome. I'm not an options trader, but when it comes to options, like what would be like the risks associated when getting into this type of asset?
Well, I mean, that options is such a broad thing. That'd be like me. I know that you're a Forex trader. That'd be like me saying, how do you trade Forex or whatever? There's a jillion ways to do it. You know what I'm saying? You could use moving averages. You can use, it's such a broad thing. Options can either be super risky or they can be used super conservatively, and they can be used tactically, but they can also be used to YOLO. They kind of have a bad name, because, people use them to YOLO and they can be really risky. But when done right, options can be, you can make your portfolio have more safety if you know what you're doing. If you have a stock portfolio, you can either sell options or buy options or do some combination of the two and make your portfolio where it's more stable. So that's kind of what I like to do. I don't like a lot of risk. I like to cut the risk of stuff.
I see. So reducing how do you combine the options play with like yield max or with those type of ETFs or funds?
Well, so I live yield max does options in a more of a safe and boring way, and I use them to do the selling of options. What I like to do with options is I like to take a shot. But I don't. But so I use yield max to generate an income. But I'll give you an instance. I thought the market was too high 2 days ago, so I bought some puts, which is a bearish bet on the Qs on the NASDAQ. And so far I've been wrong. They don't expire till Friday, but it's not looking good. The market's going to all-time highs, and I think they opened up the government. But anyway, that's what I like to do with options, is take a little amount of money and try to turn it into an outsized gain. Now that's kind of risky. So I do that with a small amount of money, and I use a larger amount of money and let the pros manage it.
Oh, I see. So basically it's kind of been like like you have two ways of getting to more profits with them managing their side, and then you're doing it yourself.
Yeah, and I'm also doing it kind of to have fun too. I like it, so I'm not using a whole lot of money. I do my options more for fun, but for the serious stuff, I mainly let the guys over it, and not just yield. I say yield max. I mean, heck, I only have like 18% of my portfolio on yield max right now. I mean, but there's a lot of other companies I have too that I like. But anyway, yeah, I let the professionals handle the bigger money.
Yeah, kind of like the index funds, just getting into those.
Well, yeah. Well, no, yeah. Vanguard and everything. I have that too. But as far as even the covered call selling, that's something that the companies are famous for. Neos does a good job. Yield Max, Round Hill, there's a bunch of them. But I like to let the professionals handle the covered call selling.
When it comes to those dividends, like how would they be measured? Are they like ridiculously high dividends? Because I'm in being part of YieldMX, I've seen some of it, but yeah. How's the dividends been like this year?
Well, yeah, they're still high. I mean, and not just them, Round Hill, and there's a lot of companies out there, Granite shares that have ETFs that produce 50 or to 150% dividend. Now, it's not really accurate to call them dividends. They usually call them distributions, because a dividend, yeah, it's just different. But the most important thing that I always try to tell beginners about this is the distribution rate. Like if it's 100%, that's just the distribution rate. That doesn't mean that's your profit, and that doesn't mean that's your total return. That means that they're giving you that money, but there could be other stuff going on with the investment also. I think that's what gets a lot of people sideways. So they maybe see an ETF that pays 50%, and they think, well, if I just hold this for 2 years, I'll have all my money back, and it'll be free money, house money. And that can happen, but there's more moving parts than just you can't look at just the yield. It's deceptive. But it's important to think of it as a distribution and not a dividend.
So when it comes to positioning, you have to be very calculative, and when you enter or possibly exit, combined with the distribution.
Well, that's probably number two that beginners misunderstand is you're also playing the stock. If you're playing Misty options, you're bullish on Mister. Even though they're selling options and giving you a distribution, you're also really pulling for that stock to go up or at least not go down. So the yield max funds and any fund that pays more than 12% is going to be on the riskier side. You have to be careful. Yeah. So you have to position tactically. Like, for instance, if it was like last March when the market was cratering and we went under the 200-day moving average, that might not have been a good time to open up a bunch of positions. But then after the market quit cratering, Trump, came on and canceled the tariffs for a while. And if you have a bullish opinion now, then that was a good time. Okay, I may try it, take a little gamble. And that's a good time to buy some yield max options or Neos or whatever. But you generally want to try to do it in a bull market. A friend of mine told me today that everything works in a bull market. No matter what strategy you have, if the market's going up, it doesn't matter if you're selling puts, doing wills, doing whatever. Everything works when the market's going up, and nothing works when the market's going down. Speaking of going down, are you worried about Bitcoin? I know you're a Bitcoin bro.
Yeah, let's actually. I'll bring up the chart real quick on that for the give me a second. Where's
no problem.
Present share screen. Now, Bitcoin, guys, has been in the news. Like, it's kind of weird. One part of people say Bitcoin's going up is going to bounce off the 50 moving average, and the other part says it's going to head down. So for me, I'm already shorting Bitcoin. I've been shorting from up on these highs, and this line right here is my 50 moving average. That I use, and I think it's going to be heading down to the 70K to 83,000 level. That's down here.
Wow, that's going to hurt my high yield funds because I have a lot of exposure to Bitcoin in my high yield funds. But anyway, if that's what happens, that's what happens.
Now, I talked to Jimmy yesterday or earlier, and she told me that it could head down to the 50,000s.
Wow.
Now, all these ETF funds, all these big individuals who's investing hardcore long for Bitcoin, I mean, maybe, in the short term is going to be painful, but I think if they're buying on margin or using some type of leverage, that is going to be very painful. Like a 50% haircut. Oh
yeah. Are you not using? I mean, don't people that short Bitcoin using leverage? Are you shorting?
Oh yeah.
Leverage? Okay, hold on.
Oh yeah.
You're the pot calling the kettle. I'm just giving you a hard time, Andre. Yeah, no, I hear you. But also, aren't you a little bit worried about maybe Trump will make a tweet that he's going to put Bitcoin in the strategic reserve? Aren't you a little? I'm a little bit thinking that maybe the administration will do something to kind of pump it, and will also open the government back up, and it could rip the other way. But maybe that's just wishful thinking. But that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I hope crypto winter's not here, but it may be.
If it since we're using leverage, and if anyone who has putting into a shorting position, using some type of debt money or whatever. So for me, I have one of my basis rules is before I enter a live position, I have at least 2 demo positions in there. So if you look at the higher time frames on higher prices, I have a couple demo entries at 120,000, 116,000, and then once those go down, I put my live entry. When it moves down, I move my stop above profit and then wait and just if it hits my TP, cool. If it hits my stop loss, I made profit. But when it comes to Bitcoin, it can jump your stop if it moves too quickly.
Oh, sure. Well, stocks can do that too. But yeah, Bitcoin's probably even worse. So let me ask you this. Where's your TP at? Where's your take?
So I grid trade down. Let me give you guys an example. Just say if you put in $5,000 increments, I have grids all the way down, and most of my TPs are at this zone down here, the 80,000, 70, 80,000 level. So if I'm wrong, if I'm correct, most of the positions would take profit, and the rest would just run.
Yeah, lower. I got you. You save some runners. That's good. Just in case it keeps going. Lord, I hope you're wrong. But I mean, now let me ask you this, Andre. Wonder if it rallies a little bit. Would you enter some more shorts and try to average down? But you know what I'm saying? Like when you buy a stock, if it goes lower, you'd be averaging when it goes up a little bit. Do you ever are you going to sell more if it goes up a little bit, or are you good where you're at?
Most likely, since it'll be in my live account. And now if it was in one of my test baby accounts, and I would add letter positions. Like I was shorting Bitcoin about 4 hours ago on my phone when I got a notification to enter in. But those are small, minute positions. Like my hardcore positions are just gridded out. I don't add anymore because to me, I don't like to personally when I enter in, I don't like to see oh my God, it went this way. I'm like, okay, here's the levels. If it hits here, it's okay. Hits here, and the stop losses are not all equal. Like some are larger because they're different. In Forex, we have lot sizes. Basically, one has higher bets and one has lower bets. The lower bets have larger stop losses.
Interesting. I'm concerned. I'm just concerned because Bitcoin's under the 200-day moving average. And it's down more than 20%. Those are the 2 hallmarks of a bear market. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to stay under. It was under the 200-day moving average a little bit back, or for a couple of weeks back in April, and it recovered, but that's just not a good sign. I'm also concerned because I've been seeing stuff on the internet that Satoshi or whatever his name is, or some whale is just dumping Bitcoin all over the place. Have you heard of anything about a whale? I just saw a tweet on Twitter, on X, that said that Satoshi, they thought it was Satoshi, but somebody's dumped like $15 billion worth of Bitcoin or just something crazy. But looking at the chart, it's probably true.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at it on the daily, we have basically similar to a triple high, double high. If you include these two, the moving average is about to cross.
Yep.
We could do something like this, dip down 10% a little bit and then go up higher. But to me, it's when are people going to take profits? You can't hold on forever. Maybe some people can.
Let me ask you this. Look back in April, right when the moving averages crossed would have been a great time to buy because the moving averages cross slow. They're behind the market. If you wait for the moving average to cross, lots of times you're late. But the day the moving average crossed, that would have been pretty close to the bottom. So all I'm saying is I hope that happens this time. Maybe if the moving averages cross and it gets oversold and they reopen the government, maybe we'll be in business. I don't know.
Dang. Coming from a 1-to-1 perspective, cash position, if you bought cash, you're almost near 100%. That'd be a pretty solid trade right there.
Oh, you
Like
mean
for
if
me,
you bought the crossover, or yeah, if you bought it
yeah.
right in there. Oh, yeah, you'd be about on a double. Yeah, no, that'd be incredible. Oh, and there's probably a lot of people. That's probably why you saw that top and then that higher top that kind of petered out right there. Yeah, that was probably a trap. They were going up there to get liquidity. You know all this. You trade and anyway, now it's going the other direction. I'm just ready for somebody to buy the darn dip. I mean, because this would make the high yield funds do a lot better. And I know a lot of high yield funds are heavily influenced by Bitcoin's price,
which is kind of it's like scary. I can see if I was in the high yield space and Bitcoin starts getting smashed, you're gonna be like, I might. But you know what? If you take it from that perspective, if they are hedged on, like, are they on like the on Bitcoin? If Bitcoin does crash and goes down 50%, 60%, you can re-enter in those funds at a cheaper price and ride that wave back up.
No, that's true, and I'm sure some people will. I'm just saying if that happens, it's gonna be kind of ugly for the people that are already in it, especially the people on margin. I've always told my people no more than 20% of your overall portfolio on high yield funds, and then of that 20%, no more than 20% of that, so that'd be 4% in any one high yield fund. So they can't do too much damage. But the other thing is, if Bitcoin drops like that, it's going to take the market with it, and the other 80% of your portfolio is going to be doing poorly also. I hope that doesn't happen. Hopefully that won't happen.
Yeah, especially it's kind of interesting. Like if you look at if someone's entire portfolio, if they have like 20% in crypto, the rest in stocks, precious metals, like it should balance out pretty good if they did it properly, because precious metals like gold and silver have been spiking really high. And then if they do like, it should be a good balance, especially if they have that dividend, or sorry, not dividend income. You said distribution income.
Well, yeah, the income is a little bit of a buffer too. And also when people allocate portfolios, they usually do some in stocks and some in bonds. And bonds, I think, might cushion a little bit of that also. Yeah, I'm just saying if that happens, it's going to be ugly for some people that are overloaded. I mean, that are overloaded in any one asset. But yeah, hopefully no one that watches our station is like that. I try to tell my people to be diverse and to be diverse and hedge as much as possible and stuff. Some of my guys are buying. There's an inverse fund. There's a high yield fund that makes money if crypto goes down. It's called Winter, WNTR, and it makes money if micro strategies or strategy goes down. And I was talking to somebody the other day that still has some regular bullish exposure, but they bought some of this WNTR, and it's been printing money lately because micro strategies strategy's been in the dumps. So you do have options. You do have options, but it's tough. Yeah. It's called WNTR, and that it means crypto winner, but it's just inverse. What they do is instead of selling covered calls, which is what the bullish funds do, these guys sell covered puts. They make the opposite bet. So if the underlying stock goes down, this ETF goes up.
Dang, this is cool. I didn't even know about this. I'm gonna actually put this on my to-do list to look at. How much the yield is 53.95%. What do they pay less?
Well, I don't know, but yeah, it pays a lot, but I mean, it does really poorly when Bitcoin. If MicroStrategies turns around and goes back up, it'll do poorly. But I'm saying it's a bearish bet. It's a way to get a bearish bet plus income. Yeah, you might want to look at that since you're a crypto bro. And trying to think, there's another one called Fiat, FIAT, that is inverse of Coinbase. And so if you're a Coinbase bear, and Coinbase is heavily related to Bitcoin, obviously, you can use Fiat, and that also works. In fact, I have a few shares of Fiat myself, but not many. Maybe I should get more. I don't know. Getting kind of nervous about being under the 200-day, but we'll see.
Ooh, I can see.
Well, Fiat's not really moving yet. It doesn't look like Fiat's not moving like Winter is. But if Coinbase starts to crater, Fiat should, in theory, go up.
It's super cheap. It's like near 250.
Well, that's because Coinbase has done nothing but go up for the past 2 years. I bet it started at $20 and now it's down to 250 because it's on the wrong side of the trade. But if Coinbase craters for some reason, that should, in theory, go up.
Yeah, let me see. Let's look at Coinbase.
Yeah.
Put this on the weekly.
Heck yeah.
Oh my gosh. Look
I
at
got
that.
some
Yeah.
of this, I got some of this in April because whenever I got last time I got bearish was in April, and I got some and it helped for a few weeks, but then as soon as Trump canceled the tariffs, I sold it. But if we would have crashed in April, I had that, and that would have helped offset. So yeah, you have to be tactical with these high yield funds, or I do. They definitely aren't set it and forget it, especially the ones that yield super high. The higher it yields, the more risky it is. Other things being equal.
I mean, this is so cheap that I can just buy a bunch of shares and just let this run. And also, see, look at this. Now I got stuff to buy because when it comes to stocks, I typically look at like index funds like JEPI and precious metals. I mean, I'm very conservative when it comes to the stock market.
Yeah,
precious metals. Any companies connected to precious metals like mining companies and the indexes. Everything else, I just ignore.
Did you see what silver did today?
Yes. Oh, man. Now we're talking about my favorite stuff here. Let me bring up the charts.
I got, you're a gold and silver bug. I forgot that. But I remember that. So I got something called KSLV, and it's a high yield fund. Doesn't pay that high of a yield, though. It's 10, 12% something. But anyway, it's doing great lately, and it's not YieldMax. It's a company called Curve. Like I say, there's lots of other companies out there besides YieldMax that I'm interested in. But that's you're familiar with the company called GDX, which is gold miner. Okay, there's a YieldMax fund called GDXY that I had for a long time. I recently sold it at a profit. But yeah, those are great. Those are great companies. KSLV and GDXY are good ETFs that I've had good luck with.
GDXY. Yeah. I love learning about new products like this because especially if you can add more to the portfolio, because I just bought silver 2 days ago. It's crazy. Like I told you, I sold my silver a lot. I sold some because I've been buying actual silver under $10.
Yeah, you've been buying physical.
Yeah, right. Physical. And I tell you, like the spread is horrendous. Like you just say this: if the current market is like silver physical market's at $50, just an example, you're probably going to get like 40 or 39 selling it back.
Wow. So that makes a good case for using an ETF. I know that real people that are into gold and silver say you have to own the physical, but there's ETFs out there that do own the physical, and they put it in a vault somewhere, and they give you access to the price of it. So, but a lot of people are old school and they believe, no, I want to have this here in case Armageddon hits, so I can trade my silver for something.
We got Rod on. What's up, Rod? Welcome to the stream, bro.
You got to be kidding me. They'll let anyone in this place. Gosh darn it. We also got my friend Chad on. He's Easy Life, but he's my friend Chad from my Discord and live streams. Yeah. Welcome, Rod. Welcome, Chad.
Rod, I'll hit you up if you want to come join us on the live stream, because tomorrow I got Adriano from I forgot the name of his channel, but basically I got Adriano coming on tomorrow.
Adriano's awesome. I'll definitely watch that for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna. I like hearing about all his investments. It's crazy. Like we were talking about it. It was like 2.4 million with 30K in cash flow monthly. I'm like, dang! Oh my God.
When I met him in New York, he had a lot. I mean, he didn't say it in New York, obviously, but I remember from his YouTube channel, I think at the time he had like 1.2 million, and he had 15,000 a month cash flow. But yeah, he's been growing. He has a good channel also. So
we're for the audience, guys. We're talking about this live stream: top secret wealth strategies, passive income investing with Adriano. It's gonna be a fun interview, guys. So please check that out. Currently, guys, we're with the Profit with the blueprint with the cover collar. Talk about some fun stuff. My favorite investments. Oh man, if you guys do not know, I am one of the biggest precious metal bugs. I mean, I've had like hundreds of videos. This is how you scan silver. This is how many stacks. This is my. What is it? I got a Star Wars collection. I'm started building a dragon collection, like of the news the numismatic coins.
Have you? We were briefly visiting about sponsorships and stuff before. Have you thought about? I wonder if you could get a precious metals company to sponsor the stream. I mean,
great idea.
I don't know. You might want to look into that.
Yeah, I'm writing this down on my to-do list. You actually, this is like your call alone gave me more things to do outside of the call. Like,
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm good with suggesting ideas. I'm just bad with following through with them myself, but I'm a wealth of good ideas.
yeah, because usually when people talk about like investments, like I'm already buying the junior miners and the regular miners, and then I'm like, because we get like, I think 2 cents to 6 cents a year paid in December. That's our dividend.
So check this out, or you write this down on your list. SLJY. I don't know who the company is. It's a high yield fund. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the company, but what they do is they sell covered calls on the junior miners, the junior silver miners. I don't have it, don't know that much about it, but you might want to look into that if you're into the junior silver miners. It's called SLJY. I have people in my Discord that like it and tell me I need to get it, but I can't even tell you the name of the company. Oh, it's Amplify. Yeah. Amplify.
Ooh. See, that's the pullback. Yeah. It's the same pullback.
I see that
daily.
I call that a 3-bar reversal, but yeah, whatever. But it's made it and it's confirmed it. It's going to go for the highs next. YOLO.
It has a 20% dividend payout?
Yeah,
ain't no way. Oh, man. I wish I had my soundboard right now. Oh, man.
What happened to your soundboard?
So OBS, it only works in OBS. I can't use my soundboard when it comes to so I would be doing like firecrackers, like confetti, everything right now.
Hang on, I gotta let my dog out, Andre.
Oh, no problem. Rod says, ask Max about the BTGD. He's like, okay, let me check out this fund before he comes back. Let's see. All right. Duplicate, tab. BTG.
BTGD. Now that's not a high yield fund. That's just a growth fund, but that's interesting too. You would like that one. Good call, Rod. I hadn't thought about that. This doesn't pay a yield, but it's half Bitcoin and half gold. But the catch is it's leveraged Bitcoin and leveraged gold. So what it is it's as if you had 100% Bitcoin and 100% gold, but you only pay as if you had 50-50 of each. It's leverage. But so yeah, it's half Bitcoin, half gold.
I like that. Look at this, man. I got you're giving me more homework to do than anybody else. Like, thanks, Rod. Like, my next stream is supposed to be like about exposing and stuff, but now we be like, you know what? I might push back my own stream just to read about these. So when the market opens tomorrow, I'm already pre-ready.
You can when you go talk to Andre tomorrow or Adriano tomorrow. Adriano knows about these. Tell Adriano, ask Adriano what he thinks about BTGD and SLJY and stuff. You'll have more stuff to talk to him about. He might tell you they're lousy or something. I don't know, but it might give you something to talk about.
Yeah, because I really want to get his perspective outside of the cash flow, like economy wise. Because for me, like when people say, hey, when people say like, hey, where's Bitcoin going? People it's like 200,000, $1 million. Like when it comes to gold and silver, gold $10,000, silver $200. I can't wait.
Yeah,
that's life changing.
Are you? Do you follow that guy? What's his name? Peter Schiff. I mean, he's a big one, right? Yeah, you know all that. I'm just wondering.
Yeah. So I've been following Peter Schiff since I joined the Air Force back in 2007. Peter Schiff, Mike Maloney, George Gammon.
Yeah, I love George Gammon. I watched him. I watched his video last night. There's another guy that's kind of an old timer that's a hedge fund guy, but he's also real into gold. I'm drawing a blank on his name. He talks with the Southern accent. He's from Alabama. I'll think of it in a second.
His name is I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's
he rode a motorcycle across Europe.
Not him. The other guy is called the Morgan Report.
I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking this guy that drove a motorcycle across Europe. He's about 80. He's about my dad's age, probably. He's from Alabama, and he's a Southern gentleman, and he loves gold. He used to own a hedge fund in the 90s. He was on CNBC all the time. It's just a common name like George Smith. I'll think of it, but I can look it up on my end too.
If you guys want to learn about, I tell people like, if you want me to go full nerd, please check out Gold and Silver's Hidden Secrets of Money. They have 10 episodes. They break down the entire monetary history of central banks, why they buy Yeah, I'll tell you, man. I've watched this series so many times. I have it memorized. Oh my gosh. Like even I have both his books. I have Peter Schiff's books.
That's
Oh
awesome.
man.
My guy's name is Jim Rogers, and he wrote
Yeah,
a
Jim.
book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. He lives in China now. He's an expat. He's married to a younger, I think he lives in like the Philippines. He lives in Asia, I shouldn't say. Lives in Asia. I think he lives in the Philippines. He has a younger family, and he speaks Mandarin sometimes. And yeah, he's a really smart and really eccentric dude. Anyone that's into gold has probably seen Jim Rogers talk. He wears a bow tie. Yeah.
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 Oh man, this is like the OG old school YouTube when they're talking about like the old interviews and stuff about like economists and also traders. Like this is the type of stuff I prefer to talk about, but we'll see. Rod says any gold bars laying around, bro. This is why I try to keep where I live like very private. But so before this big giant silver and gold run, I buy every single Friday since like for years now.
Yeah.
Now it's not like 1 ounce. It's not happening, but we're talking about a few grams here and there.
Sure.
And this keeps on building over years, and that's why I'm letting this run forever. I hope it just keeps on. I hope it goes like crazy high.
Heck yeah, and you're prepared for the zombie apocalypse because you have a little bit of physical around. So if you need to, you can break a little bit of that out of your safe and go buy bread with it or something.
Give me a second. I've actually got that. I got that coin still from Yield Max. Remember that coin that Yield Max gave us?
I've forgotten about that. Mine's around here too somewhere. I still have my J doll, but it freaking my dog chewed Jay's. My dog chewed Jay's foot up. Anyway,
you know what? if Jay actually starts selling like actual silver coins of like Misty or like Yield Max, I think people would just buy that just because like, hey, I'm already buying into the silver market. I wanted to show off that I'm buying into Yield Max too. That would be an awesome connection. Oh
yeah, you should talk to him.
Yeah, I tried to text him, but GHB said he's not doing interviews. The other guy's doing interviews now.
Yeah, you even to get to they've gone corporate. They're big time now. We got in, before when they were just started off, but they have a lot more procedures in place. They have a guy you have to talk to get through to the guy that is doing interviews for Jay. I'm sure if you sent Jay an email, tell him he's doing a good job or something, he's going to answer it. But yeah, he's not doing the PR stuff anymore.
Actually, I like his interviews. He has a lot of, I like talking to him about economics because I'm not the biggest option guy, but talking about him about economics, precious metals, why he buys it.
I hope Jay's not listening, but the guy that they got to replace him is really smart in the way that a professor is and can tell you the history of everything. And anyway, you should ask him to be on. His name's Mike Coe. And I guarantee you, get this, he used to work on the COMEX. That's where he learned how to trade options. The COMEX is the precious metals exchange in New York. Mm-hmm. That's where he got his start. That guy knows a lot about precious metals. I guarantee you'd have a good interview with him. You need to get him on.
Yeah, especially about that because, I love when we're talking about like COT reports, like how much the actual ETFs are buying, how much. Oh my gosh, like
he has all that. Yeah, he has all that kind of knowledge. He's owned his own hedge fund before. He's worked for hedge funds. He's worked all over Wall Street, some of the best firms, and now he works for. I think he still works for himself, but he also works for Yield Max. But yeah, he could tell you. You guys would have a good conversation about precious metals, inflation. He could tell you all that kind of stuff. He'd probably like you too. You should ask him on.
Yeah, I got him on my man. I more of a checklist now. But if you guys want to find wonderful videos, like check out George Gammon's videos. Like I got 3 simple steps and bam to explain something. Step number 1, boom.
I love his whiteboard, and George Gammon has kind of a crazy sense of humor, which I like too. George Gammon's awesome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Especially like. I like when he starts comparing people. Like you have one part of the economy be like they're type like Peter Schiff, honest money. Then this part of the economy talking about paper money. Which one do you want to put your money in? He won't tell you the answer. He'll just throw out the thought process at the thought experiment.
He also he makes good jokes about Gen Y, and I know you're Gen Y stuff, but or maybe not. You may be on the border. You're probably, but anyway, whatever. But he makes good jokes about Gen Y needing safe spaces and that kind of stuff. He's always making funny jokes about that kind of stuff.
Oh, such a good, man. Getting them on a panel be nice. Like having, I think the next one will be what is it? I already showed Peter. Oh, for the guys who don't know who Peter Schiff is, one of the most active on YouTube. I think he's on every single day, like literally every day live.
Yeah.
4 minutes ago, like literally 4 minutes ago. But what I like about his take, he also talks about precious metals, guys, a ton of precious metals. But I like his economic view. Like he has a very balanced view about like how much the government shouldn't be involved, not to be too politicized, but I like how he's like, the government shouldn't be at this level and the level of freedom should be over here. Yes, some government, but more freedom.
No, he's definitely, no, I've caught a little bit of his act, and that's common. The people in the gold, space are really, usually the libertarians kind of, or they seem to be. I think that George Gammon is kind of George Gammon and I have kind of the same politics, I think, from listening to him. But you kind of get the more independent people that don't want as much government involvement and stuff in that space.
Yeah, because even with him, I like how he disagrees with Bitcoin, but also promotes like Bitcoin should be freely traded, which have very low government involvement. If people want to gamble, let them gamble. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. That's the libertarian in him coming out. That's called laissez-faire in French. They call that laissez-faire, which means hands off. And a lot of libertarians believe in that kind of government policy. Hands off. Let the economy do what it's going to do. And I love that.
Oh man, see now I need more to do. But let me see. We got that over there. Oh, before we go into this, let me show everyone this beautiful, beautiful chart. And not to mix in too much of economy and stuff. What is your thoughts about like how's the economy going? Like, are you bearish, bullish?
Well, I'm not that good at macroeconomics and stuff. I watch CNBC and I watch YouTube, but I don't really have a real educated opinion on the economy. I wish I did. Here's one thing I think. I think that the stock market, I think you just have to watch what the stock market's doing. Even if sometimes even though everyone says the economy's no good, the stock market and the economy are separate things. So I just try to pay attention to the stock market. I've been hearing forever that we're going to have a recession. We're supposed to have one in, 2023, then 2024, 2025. Then I've heard one's going to start any day now. I just, but if you would have got out of the market if I got out of the market every time that I heard or thought a recession was coming along, I'd always be out of the market. So I just try to focus on the market, follow the money, in other words.
Yeah, especially with them weeding out. Like, I think it's a good way that in a weird way, the news will say, the markets are crashing or the market's doing X, Y, and Z, and then people will flee, and then you'll see the market just rip the other direction.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's exactly right. There's another in the market. Sometimes when everyone's convinced something's going to happen in August, everyone was convinced that the market was going to crash. Me too. It looked terrible and stuff. But when everyone's convinced, people will make preparations and they'll hedge themselves, and they won't let the market crash. If everyone knows it's going to crash, a crash won't happen. What happens in a crash is when people are caught on the wrong side. Yep. It's something that's unexpected. A true like black swan event. It's something that's not expected. So lots of times, if everyone thinks something's going to happen, it doesn't usually happen. And Mike Coe talked about that on my live stream. Anyway, you're going to really like getting him on. He talks about all this kind of stuff in a way more sophisticated way than I do.
Nice. I can't wait to have him on. I think hearing his perspective, especially because that's why I brought up this chart real quick.
Oh yeah.
Let me see. One of my favorite, actually wrong one. Wait, where are we at? At the stage. Here we go. Like we were talking about this on the other previous streams about the U.S. debt clock. How we're going to manage all this craziness. And I tell man, like if you just roll back the streams, I remember when we're under 30 trillion.
Yeah.
We're about to break 40 trillion.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It is crazy. And we're spending more every day. It doesn't matter who's in, Republicans or Democrats. Yep. They always outspend the past one that was in. They may talk at the election, we're going to cut spending, but then they get in and it just go, I mean, it just seems to anyway. The last one that really cut spending any significant amount was Bill Clinton, and he didn't cut the debt, but he cut the deficit. And we actually ran a positive deficit, I think, for a year or two. But to be fair, also the Cold War was over, and we also cut our defense spending. Anyway, nowadays, the Cold War's back on again. Our defense spending is higher than it's ever been. So's the debt. That's what most of that debt is to pay for aircraft carriers to go around the world and police the world. We're the world's police force. I guarantee you half of that debt is because of our military.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this now, like Medicare, 1.7 trillion, Social Security, 1.5, and defense is, just say 900 billion. But that is the interest alone is more than the defense budget.
Yes.
That is crazy.
That's insane.
Interest to who? I wouldn't be on that side.
Yeah. I guess the other side of the equation is we're the richest country in the history of the world. We've had tremendous amounts of money made here. We have a tremendously large tax base, and now we're tariffing, and so we have the ability to earn a lot of money too. But man, we know how to spend it.
Oh, about the tariffs. Now this is all just news, guys. I can't confirm this, but I heard on Truth Social they're going to be giving out a $2,000 dividend from all the tariffs. Now, I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, but the last time they gave out dividends, or not dividend, give out checks, Bitcoin went through the roof. Like, and they're giving $2,000 to like almost, let's say, all adults in America.
Yeah,
like, we might see a big pop in the markets.
Possibly, and I think we'll probably get more inflation on the back end, just like anytime they print money, it causes inflation. But in the short term, it might help. I've seen that same thing. I wouldn't really hold my breath on that, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it'll ever happen.
Ooh, same.
I wish it would. Well, I don't. I don't need it, but I know it would help a lot of people out. I don't know. But I don't think it'll ever happen. But I could be wrong.
We'll see. The other thing is we have a couple holidays coming up. We got Thanksgiving, also Christmas. I wonder how the market is going to be, because usually when I see the markets, when it comes to big holidays, people start, selling off to buy for presidents, buy presents, buy, just lifestyle stuff, because typically that's where people are off. Now, that might be – oh, what?
Oh, and I was going to say there's also tax loss harvesting at the end of the year. Yeah. If people are down, so like maybe in micro strategies, people are down big in that, they might sell it before the end of the year. So all that means is sometimes assets that have already had a tough year have even a tougher year. But the other side of that is assets that are having a good year, sometimes people will sell and move it into the good assets. So that, I think, is what causes the Santa Claus rally.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but people do, could also spend for personal needs around the holidays too. So I'm sure that's part of it also.
We get a couple of things covered in. Late night with the panel being built in real time. This is great. Yeah, I have a lot of fun, man. I wish I can. What else we got? The candles will tell you everything. Agreed. And money printer will go burr. Bitcoin go your. Yeah. if hypothetically speaking, they give out $2,000 to most Americans or most adults. Yeah. I would say inflation definitely going to go up, but before inflation, I think crypto like Bitcoin last time just went straight up. Oh my.
No, absolutely. No, you're right. And people also it'll help the market too. People also YOLO into the market. People probably buy stocks and options. They'll do all kinds of stuff. In the short term, it might be awesome in the short term.
Yeah. And then I think if they do that, I wish I did this last time. They did this. The last stimulus check, I was supposed to do like a screenshot of like how much United States debt we had, like credit card debt, and then do like a quarter by quarter debt by measure all the debt quarter by quarter to see how much we blossom. Because I think people would be, frivolously spending even with the 2,000.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah. People are going to spend.
Oh, they're saying it's bring Misty back up.
I think it would help. because I think, I mean, not only Misty, I think more than that, I think people would buy Bitcoin with it. If they gave $2,000 to every adult, probably 1/5 of the people are going to Bitcoin. So, I mean, or maybe more, and so, yeah, I mean, that could, that would definitely, in the short run, it could definitely help. And I could be wrong. Maybe they can do it this time without causing inflation. But, every time when they print money, it just has a side effect. You almost can't get away from the inflationary aspects of it. But I don't know, Trump's doing a good job in some of the things. Maybe, hopefully he has good advisors. Hopefully maybe they're doing something in other parts of the economy to stimulate the economy and to make the government grow. We need to grow the GDP, and you can grow yourself out of debt too. I don't know if you can grow yourself out of this much debt, but that's part of the equation too. It's also, the growth of the GDP. So
if they did grow up, just say, and that's the one thing. It'd be interesting to see how much reserves do we have of like precious metals, because if the government can grow in assets like that they can accumulate, that essentially could knock down the debt. But it would take a big stretch of precious metals, crypto, tariffs.
Yeah,
maybe I would say the best part would be reduce spending, but that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. They're reducing spending in some areas. I mean, but on balance, spending goes up. But I mean, the Trump administration is definitely trying to cut spending in frivolous places that they see that are frivolous. But still, though, I mean, but they won't. The problem with this, they won't cut spending on defense. All the fraud goes to Medicare abuse and that kind of stuff, and the Defense Department. And they don't, and a lot of their donors are heavily invested in defense and tech. But yeah, if they would get serious about getting into the Pentagon, auditing it, and cutting the fat out of the Pentagon, we'd be in a lot better shape. I think.
Agreed. Like when I was this is funny. Like when I was in the Air Force, a Penta's perspective, we got this screw. The same screw, this screw, right? You go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, costs you $2.
Yeah.
When the military box buys it, it's like $50 to $100. Same screw.
It's crazy. It's crazy. That's what we need to. We need to get Elon on that. That's the thing. He went in and did Doge, and he did a good job with what they would let him do and stuff. But Elon's a defense contractor himself, so he's not going to be real incentivized to go into the Pentagon and cut spending. But if we could get somebody in there we don't want to spend $50 on any screws anymore. That's a big part of the problem. Yeah.
And then it's such a red flag, because even if you bring it up, we can't even argue the price. We have to purchase at that price.
It's the same thing with drug costs. That's why Medicare and Medicaid's so expensive. They can't even negotiate those with the big pharma. Big pharma's ripping us off also, but no president wants to really go after them too bad, because a lot of their donations come from big pharma. It's all about, you follow the money, and it's just all a big Ponzi scheme, basically, or not really Ponzi, but it's just all a big. It's all a big grift. It's a big grift.
And then at the other side of it, you have Nancy Pelosi front-loading the economy, betting on themselves. It's like,
no, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I know it. I've been watching it for years. My second favorite thing is politics behind. Well, my third, I like to play guitar and talk about options and do high yield. But then my third favorite thing is politics. So I'm always down to talk politics.
Yeah, we actually showed the tracker of like the politicians versus Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's like right here. Nancy Pelosi, and it's like
I know.
Do we follow Buffett or do we follow Nancy Pelosi? Because she's not losing.
No, I know it. She's short. She's short. I wonder how she just must have really good luck. I don't know. No, but seriously, you know what she does a lot. What her husband does. If you study their trades, they use leverage, they use options, but yes, they also pick good stocks, but they use leverage and they just kill it. They just kill it.
Near 100% accuracy. I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, that's not always 100%. In 2022, they lost more money than anyone else in Congress. It's kind of a legend that she's a good trader, but I've looked into it. They just use leverage. They do better when the market goes up. They were literally the worst member of Congress in 2022 because they instead of buying stocks, they buy something called a leap, which is an option that's like a stock. when the market goes your way, you bank, but when the market doesn't, you lose. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but the Pelosi's were dead last in all of Congress in 2022. But I'm not saying they aren't crooked. I'm just saying they're dead last. Because then in 2023 and 2024, I'm not saying she's not crooked also, but they do lose. They do lose.
They do. I made 500% the other years, but I'll take 20% off. I might lose a little bit. Yeah. I gotta show you I'm not perfect.
Absolutely.
Oh, one other thing. How's your time? Is you good on time still? We're hit 50 minutes.
Well, I just want to tell my guys that are watching, as soon as I get done with here, I'm going to talk with Andre for a few more minutes, but I'm going to have my live stream on at, say, 8:45. So guys that are watching, Chad, tune into my live stream here in I'll talk to Andre another 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll meet you guys over. I have a daily show called The Daily Factor. It's kind of my premier show, and it's about high yield funds, but yeah, it's on every night, and I don't want my guys to have to stay up too late. So, but I'll be there about 9:45, guys, if that's cool. I think about how much my guys are watching.
Oh, that's what I love about streaming. Let's do another Inception stream.
Well, that's an inside joke. I was showing something today, and I'm bad at working StreamYard, and I was showing a stream of my own stream, and it had dual pictures of me. It looked like I was anyway. It looked like I should have turned off the first picture and just showed the second one. I don't know how to run all this complicated stuff.
Oh man, that's why it's like if you do get that here I shouldn't talk about. That's why I like this. Here's my keyboard for everything. See, that's why I love playing all the games and stuff, changing the stuff.
Wow, cool. That's cool. I haven't seen one of those yet. Do you play video games, or are you too busy with your channel?
Oh man, I haven't played video games in years. Like the only game I only have 3 games on my phone: chess, and like 2 different variants of chess. That's it.
I love chess. I mean, I'm no good at it, but I got into. I mean, chess is fun. Chess is fun. On my phone. I have that. I like that Scrabble game. What's that called? Words with Friends. I used to play that.
Oh my god, they used to be my.
But I like video games. I like Call of Duty and GTA and stuff. But I don't play them a whole lot. But I play them whenever I can.
Dang. I mean, back when I was in the Air Force, I used to play. But now, as I'm getting old, I just play chess and very, very minute things. But because most of my time is either investing or at the gym. Gym is like 3 to 5 hours a day.
Yeah, my nephew's in the Air Force, and he trained down in San Antonio, but he's an F-35 mechanic, or I don't know if mechanic's the right word. But he does the software and stuff. But anyway, he works on the F-35, and he's over in Japan right now, I believe. He's stationed in Japan, but yeah, he's in the Air Force. I'm real proud of him. I went down to his graduation. I forget the name of the fort or the base, but it was somewhere down in San Antonio. Where were you stationed? All over.
I was stationed. So before the F-35s came, I was there with the F-15s and 22s at Kadena.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I was stationed there for years. Cool. I was stationed in Kadena, Korea, Florida, Texas, a couple places in. Oh my God. Germany, a little bit, Afghanistan.
Which place had the best looking women? Texas, right? Texas has good looking women. I love Texas women.
Oh my God.
I know you're married. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I'll say Florida.
Oh yeah. I went down it, I'm sure. Heck yeah.
Yeah, Tyndall was fun. That was like the Tyndall, not Tyndall, Panama City.
Panama City, all of it. There's a lot of, because you're in the South. Yeah, anywhere in the South. You got to. I love those Southern women. We got plenty of them down here. Come from Houston and Dallas. Oh yeah, I love Southern women.
Gosh, but yeah. How about this, guys? Before we exit, I'm gonna put all your links, your social media links, your Discord, and also your channel in the first pinned comment, so they can find your work and also check out your live streams. And yeah, this stream's been really a lot of fun. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, I'll do it anytime, Andre. I love to talk politics, economy, options, girls, high yield funds, whatever. That's my favorite topics. Music, we can talk whatever you want.
Yeah. And for anyone who needs to have any questions outside the live stream, just post them in the comment section. I'll get to them as fast as I can. And if they're directed to you, I'll send them to you. We have one comment before we go. My parents are down the street from Tyndall. We get to see the Jets take off from the backyard. Well, I used to be a jet mechanic in the Air Force, and I got my jet. I got it running where I'm like right next to the intake, and you can see me right next. You can even see my name on the jet.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, I grew up right by Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma, about 20 miles south of it, but I used to see B-1s, occasionally a B-2, but in tons of AWACS and tons of planes. I love airplanes, and I love B-1s. B-1's an awesome plane. And they used to always fly over my part of town where I lived in Oklahoma, because I think Tinker's a big maintenance base, I think. Tinker Air Force Base, it's in Midwest City, Oklahoma.
I would be... Heavies would have been nice, but I was on fighters, and fighters, like in hindsight, you want to be heavies because you get to travel more. You get the travel pay. Travel pay is amazing, but the fighters, you get a little bit different side of the military.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Speaking of the heavies, I used to love KC-10s also. I love that big KC-10. Those are beautiful planes. I always thought the DC-10 was a beautiful plane. But I used to see those all the time, those big tankers.
And then it's crazy because even then, since I got out of the Air Force, I'm actually now in pilot school.
Oh,
I've been in pilot school. Yeah.
Cool.
And I tell you, like, outside of I'll tell you, like, most of my studying outside of the things that I go into for my business, I mainly study off of being a better pilot because I want my pilot's license. I want to buy my own plane. I can't wait. Own my own plane finally, and I can just go around, hit the canyons, and fly.
Yeah, what are you thinking? A Cirrus, or what are Cessna? What are you thinking?
A Cessna 172 is pretty good.
A 172? Heck yeah, heck yeah! I've just seen those Cirrus ones lately that have the parachutes and stuff. I don't know if those are any good, but yeah. All right, well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll make a YouTube video about it, but I try to keep my personal life from social media.
I got you. I follow a flying influencer. She's a blonde and she's really pretty and she flies. Anyway, she has a channel and she just basically shows herself flying all around the country. I forget the name. If I find it, I'll text it to you. You've probably seen her.
Yeah, especially about that. But yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for rocking with us. We'll see you in the next stream, guys. Oh, peace. All right, let me see. Where's it? Sorry, guys. I got 5 monitors. I cannot find my mouse.
That's fine. No problem.
All right.